Hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk about my stash invest, specifically the money machines. Originally, when I excuse me, bought this app, bought this app, um, purchased this ETF. It was January 30. You see here at the bottom, so that was the first time I purchased it, and I bought it because um, at some point the incoming administration would overhaul the tax code, right? They would um, improve it for uh, wealthier individuals for sure. But at some point they were going to pass it, and the reason why is because, and I know like a lot of people are very political and they don't want to hear opposing ideals, but mine is both parties wanted to pass this bill because both parties received donations from wealthier individuals. So even though it was opposed 49 to 51 on the vote, which is very close, but it was basically all Republicans in favor, all Democrats against it, pretty much. So since the Republicans outnumber, they won. So with that happening, though, what I was going to say is on here, right around when this gets passed, you're going to see a spike, right? In the banking sector. This is my Vanguard Financials. This is VFH. It's at 50% right now. So I added to it. Every time on Stash you add, your percent will go down because you're putting in cash at a later date. So the percent always gets dragged down just a little bit, just FYI. Um, there's a specific term for that. It's not coming to my mind at the moment, so I'm just gonna move on from it. But just know that if you put in money like 2 months ago and then you add money later, whatever percent you're at is gonna change because it's fluctuating for the new money that you added in. It doesn't stay consistent from the day one at that percent. But look at this spike though on this chart. This shit is for an ETF, this is pretty quick, pretty fast. And not only that, for banks, which a lot of what this ETF is, it's pretty quick, pretty fast because banks always move slow because it's just old money. It just gains a 2, 3%. It's not very fast. It's not very much. It's just depending on how much investments are going on. But now this tax bill is incentivizing wealthier people to do more investment by giving them a huge tax break. But of course, their investment is going to be their own individual investment companies. It's not going to be like giving back to people or anything like that. We're not going to get roads or hospitals or fire stations out of it. It's just Apple's going to become bigger and be more global. Starbucks is going to be bigger. All these mega rich companies are going to be bigger. But I've made a bet on that this administration would pass that bill. Now, I also made a bet on Live Long and Prosper, which is health stocks. They have not followed through on that yet, repealing the Affordable Care Act, but they're not stopping either. They tried like dozens of times while Obama was president, and they're going to keep doing it while Trump's president. And then raw earth oil stocks went up because this administration is more oil friendly. So that's what I was banking on, and it's slowly going up. And then my Central Europe is exactly at 0% right now because it's kind of just break even, but I'm waiting for that one to go up. But I did sell my Wireless Wonders, so you see I do not have that anymore. There's no Wireless Wonders. I went ahead and sold them because they were at a basically an all-time high, or they were, I shouldn't say an all-time high, but they were high on the RSI. And I basically got my money back from when I originally invested because when I originally invested, it was higher, then it kept going down, and I was waiting for the FCC decision whether they were going to repeal net neutrality. And in anticipation of that, it looks like it just skyrocketed on this. So you can see it just had a huge run up. Although it broke through the 50-day, broke through the 200-day, and it kind of you see on this wick right here, just went all the way up and then slammed back down. So it looks like an upside down hammer. And usually when you see that, when it doesn't close at a higher level, it opens and closes around the same level, but it's low on where it opened during the day. It's usually a reversal. Now, I'm not saying that's going to reverse, but you get this compounded with the R side being at 72, and if you look along here, it wasn't very high. It never broke past 72 or 70 here, 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 here. So it's just breaking through this high, so it's definitely overbought. But I figure I made my money on it in the beginning of the year. I didn't make that good of a return because it was going down. So I basically made my money back. But it took like a whole year because I didn't sell when they broke above the 200-day here. I was still holding, but it's been like a full year and I'm just kind of done with it right now. I want to move on. But my banking though, when this tax bill got passed, like I said, this shot up. So I'm assuming bank stocks are gonna have a good little run for a little bit, but as you can see, the RSI is high up here, which means it's overbought. So I'm sure it'll come down pretty soon as well. But I think it'll be riding high for a little bit, celebrating this. But that tax bill, like no joke, was like chicken scratch written on it. Like I can't believe they passed that shit. It literally had handwritten notes. Like it literally was literally typed out with the bill, and then someone came along after with the pen and wrote a bunch of side notes on it, and then they fucking gave everybody like 30 minutes to vote on it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is our government. The government that's responsible for 300 million people is writing some fucking chicken scratch side notes, the day before test day or whatever the fuck, like in a high school textbook, and it's just ridiculous. But anyway, like I was banking on this shit to happen. It's disgusting to see how it happened and how it affects so many people in a negative way. And I'm talking like middle and low income people. But damn, which is the majority of America. But damn, it's sad. But I mean, look at this run though. It's undeniable. Look how strong this shit is. Look how crazy in just a couple days it's moved down here from like just around $66 all the way up to 71. Remember, this is an ETF. This is several dozen banks all rolled into one, just slowly moving with the trend up and down. This isn't like a single stock that can spike up or down instantly in a day. It takes a lot to move an ETF. All the banks in this sector have to move with it. So, but just watching that though, it's both good and bad. But seeing my portfolio. Like I'm still in double digits, 10.77, which is good. I'm happy about that. Like I said, my goal with this is to stay double digits, and keep growing because the whole point of this is to reduce fees by going to an outside investor or a third party or to an investing company like Scott Trade or any of those other ones, that you pay someone to do it and they just deduct a bunch of fees, but also to see if I can get a higher return. And on average, those kind of funds give you a basic mutual fund that get around 7%. So I'm getting double digit around 10. So I'm pretty happy with that. And my Defending America is up 8%. Winning Machines, like I said, at 15. Internet Titans at 10%. But again, because I'm averaging down on it right now, you can see FDN has been taking a huge hit. The tech stocks have been taking a huge hit, which is fantastic for me because it gave me two buying opportunities. First red candle spiking down from 111 down to about 108.50, and I bought in around here. I bought that dip, and then it kind of went sideways for about 2 days, and then today it shot down again to about the 50-day, and I bought that dip as well. So whenever there's like big dips like this, I'm gonna buy now. If it breaks below 50, I should say the 50-day moving average, I'm just gonna let it sit, let it do its thing, go sideways, and then eventually come back up. But that's kind of with that one. Live long and prosper, which is XLV. I think I'm just like watching that one. This one did dip today, I think. Yeah, it did have a big sharp move down, but as you can see, it's more going a little sideways here. Like if we go back to FDN, you can see like a nice upward trend on this one. Like if I draw some lines on this thing, where the hell's my mouse? There it is. Let me annotate it. Do a trend line, so you kind of just see like an example, like from here, then to here. So you see kind of like it's not the perfect line setup, but you see a nice upward trend, and it's going at a good angle. And then you look at the hell here, and it's the upward trend isn't as strong. It's not as strong. It's kind of going like this more because it's peaked from here to here, and then I guess you got like kind of like these peaks here. I would say like a little like this will be there. So the trend doesn't look as good on this one as it does FDN. So I'm thinking I'm gonna sit out on this dip because I just contributed to my internet twice basically in a couple days. So I'm gonna sit out on this one, but I'm gonna see what happens because, like I said, this is healthcare, so this is based on what's gonna happen with the repeal. So I'm kind of still waiting for some action with that one. Nothing's really been happening. They haven't gone forward, and then oil, and then Central Europe is just kind of just stagnant. I've only held it for like maybe like a week or so, so it hasn't had time to do much. But I'm just waiting to see what happens. But anyway, I'm getting back into using my Stash app. Thankfully, when I was doing day trading from home and not working, so I wasn't adding to it because all my money is still going to my day trading, which I'm still doing. But now that I have an income, I could contribute to this as well again. So it's slowly growing. And then of course Bitcoin and everything else. Like I really love the speculation game, and I like getting into different apps and stuff. It's a lot of fun for me. But hopefully it's informative for you all because that's the whole point of doing these videos. So with that, I hope you all have a good time, have a good weekend, have a good week, whatever. I just wanted to keep that up and going, and when I get a new stat or a short trader video, I'll let you all know. So talk to you later.